This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Liquid IV. Summer is winding down, and that means it's time for all the fall rituals we look forward to this time of year, like weekend football or the return of pumpkin spice everything.
One fall ritual that deserves to be added is daily hydration and energy from Liquid IV. One stick of Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier Plus Energy delivers 100 milligrams of natural caffeine plus 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. An all-in-one formula that hydrates you better than water alone. It leaves you feeling focused and alert so you can accomplish all the things you want and need to do.
So tear, pour, and live more and start a new fall ritual with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code RAW at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code RAW at liquidiv.com. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Now, Larson.
Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, oh boy, the WWE is bringing us cinema on Smackdown on USA Network. We're going to talk about cinema.
I thought you said Smack Zone, but it was Smack Zone, you said.
Smack Zone.
You know what, man? Every time they'd have the S logo on the Tron behind, up on the stage when wrestling was happening, it looked like there's like a Subway logo they declined. You know what I mean? And
Subway,
I can't get over it.
The sandwich franchise declined.
Yes.
They don't want to be too techy. I'll be honest with you. The Smackdown logo, it's grown on me. I'm cool with it now. I think it looks sharp. I'll be honest with you, man. I thought Smackdown brought a lot more this week than even their USA Network premiere. I thought, as we like to say, things actually happened. Got some meaty matches. They're revisiting, I guess, the Cody Kevin Owens things, which makes some amount of sense given that Cody is teaming with Roman, and that's going to cause some issues with probably a number of people.
Oh, yes.
And that's going to be interesting to watch. But I just thought overall, especially with us having to cope with the 3-hour SmackDown on the horizon in January, if that actually happens, it's nice to know that they can still bring it when they need to bring it.
Yeah. Although I'm kind of tired of shows ending with this bloodline beating everybody up.
I just didn't understand why there was a DQ there.
That should not have been a DQ. How many times has someone gotten thrown to the ring steps and the match goes on?
Like
all the time.
This isn't Watts here. This isn't old school WCW where you get thrown over the top rope and then it's a DQ.
Yeah, that Bill Watts is not the GM of SmackDown. No.
Right, exactly. And there's padding
you mentioned
on the outside.
Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is in the news. You want to talk some news first before we really dive deep into SmackZone?
I think that's a great idea.
Let's do it. So, 2024. Remember into 2023, we were like, 2024 should be a crazy year. A lot of people changing companies, a lot of contracts expiring, so on and so forth. Could be 2 names potentially on the move.
Ooh.
Fightful Select reports that Kevin Owens has been approached by WWE to start negotiating a new contract, but no deal has been agreed upon yet. Fightful adds that AEW has, quote, major interest in bringing in Kevin Owens should he hit free agency and make him an offer if he is available to sign with another company. This is hardly surprising because, one, Kevin Owens is one of the best in the business, one of the best wrestlers in the world. Any company would want to sign him.
Okay.
2,
Yeah. Hold
he's
on.
tight
Wait,
he's friends with the Young Bucks. He's friends with Adam Cole.
Wait. Of course AEW wants him. Why wouldn't they want him? Because he's
Who
one of the
wouldn't
best. He's Kevin Owens. Come on.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
Of course.
On top of that, he's friends with the Young Bucks.
Yeah, but they're like rarely even there. I mean, they were there this week.
He's been on like the last 3 weeks, brother.
Yeah, they were gone for like a week.
They were selling blood and guts.
They went from the A story to kind of like, I don't know. Just sort of like,
Yeah, just kind of there. No,
they
I
went
agree.
from the A story to A story.
But what does
You
that
know
have to do with them being friends with Kevin Owens? Nothing.
So, like, what is that supposed to entice him to be there? Like, they're not doing anything. They'd probably be like, hey, Kevin, how can you get us into WWE?
He's not leaving WWE. I'd be pretty shocked if he left WWE.
No, he's not leaving WWE. Get out of here with that. Of course he's not leaving the WWE. I don't even know why we're talking about this. Like, yeah, he's going to sign a new deal. Of course he's going to sign a new deal. It's going to be a lot of money. The last deal was huge money. Here's the thing. If Sami Zayn was there, okay, I could see that.
In AEW, you mean?
Yeah, in AEW.
Yeah.
Exactly. If he was in AEW, I could see that being a possibility because they're like super connected at the hip. That's like traditionally just everybody sort of known that.
Adam Cole and Kevin Owens are really good friends. Remember that watch along they did where Adam Cole comes in This is when Adam Cole was still in WWE,
Yeah.
and Kevin Owens was absolutely elated to see Adam Cole.
He loves Adam Cole. That's true.
There's
Yeah,
that picture of both of them with their title belts, sharing a hotel room.
Adam Cole's not even AEW right now, man.
He's backstage apparently.
When's he going to come back to AEW?
He's waiting for Kevin Owens.
Here's the thing about Kevin Owens. He probably has a lot of friends in WWE because he's been working there forever now.
Yeah,
So,
but they're not the Young Bucks.
I'm sure
he's
be honest with you, he's probably better friends with the people in WWE than he was, because he hasn't been in the same company with the Young Bucks since Ring of Honor.
Yeah, like a decade.
Yeah, decade. So I'm sure he's got a lot of friends in WWE. That's a non-issue. Unless AEW doubles up what WWE's going to give him, which is possible with this new huge deal.
Possible.
Maybe.
Hey, Kevin Owens, $10 million a year.
If they're going to give him Roman Reigns money, are they going to give Kevin Owens a tribal chief setup? They probably shouldn't. That's a bad precedent. But also, how are you going to go from 14,000 strong in Sacramento to 1,400 strong in yet another, where are they, Arlington or wherever Collision's from?
Yeah.
Hey,
a bit of a tangent.
Sure.
Do they always show that many exterior shots of the city they're in, or does it just seem like a lot tonight?
Were they glazing Sacramento?
It kind of felt that way.
It felt good, didn't it?
No, I know. For me, at being a resident of this area, it always is kind of weird when a major event takes place in this city.
Yeah.
And so we get Smackdown. We're working. We didn't go. I don't really like going to TV wrestling shows anymore, anyways. And yeah, there was all sorts of drone shots of downtown, and they had all the trees, and it looked beautiful. And
Michael
really
Cole said the word
over.
Sacramento like 15 times.
I know.
And then I had to see Dummy Hilton's head in the third row hard cam side, and it ruined everything. I was like, man, Sacramento's an ugly town.
There was that Yahoo story years ago.
Not much has changed since then, man.
I remember reading that. I'm like, all right.
Sounds right. Go downtown, yeah, sounds right. But yeah, no, it was nice to see Sacramento represented. No, I'll be honest. I think SmackDown had a little pep in its step. Let's talk about somebody who's evidently looking to get out of their situation.
Days seemingly numbered.
Yeah, man.
In terms of the current situation. So Fightful Select, in the separate reports, says that Miro, hey buddy, has asked for his release from AEW. The former TNT champion was recuperating from injury earlier this year. Currently healthy, though.
I want out of here, buddy.
Miro and AEW haven't been able to reach an agreement over his creative.
Yeah.
Fightful adds that Miro signed a 4-year extension back in 2022, which paid him 7 figures annually.
Jesus.
And hasn't heard if his release request has been granted, or if WWE would have any interest in signing him. Yes, Steve.
Larson, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If you just put your mind here in the head of a professional wrestler. If I was like, hey, Larson, pro wrestler, you're a vet, you've been doing this 15 years since the ripe old age of 30, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, can you come to my pro wrestling company? I'll give you $1 million every year.
Yeah.
But here's the catch. Can you lose a couple of these fake fighting matches? What would you say?
I mean, personally, Larson, as pro wrestler, I wouldn't take issue with it. Because even setting the money aside for a moment.
Okay.
As we've seen, as Swerve Strickland has showed us, it's possible to grow, evolve, develop your character in defeat. Even raise the stature of your character in defeat. Winning and losing a choreographed fight is not the end-all, be-all. You could do something with losses. That's my perspective.
Dude.
Especially in a place where apparently there is creative input. And here's the thing. I thought Miro did that. After losing to Sammy, the whole build-up to that was like, oh, my neck sucks. I could emphasize Miro. My neck sucks. It's my one weakness. He lost. He came back, and he's like, neck's been fixed. I'm ready to wreck people again. All right, you lost. The character evolved. I get it. That's good. But, there has been some talk about him being hesitant to lose matches.
Well, okay. I don't want to get too deep into that.
I don't either. But,
as I was going to say, we're not there.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of rumors about a bunch of various things that happen in the wrestling world. Some of them you can't give it a lot of credence. I just bring it up because it's been mentioned. But yes, we're not there. We don't know what happens. He might have very well denied it at some point on social media.
Somebody's paying you like over $1 million a year. Creative issues really shouldn't be an issue, Larson, unless you're like Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I'm not there. I know, and I'm not taking sides or anything. But I don't know. Hey, look, man. I hope Rusev, I hope Miro is happy and healthy and gets what he wants, and they'll part ways. I liked the Miro character in AEW.
I love the Miro character. Gosh, it was so good.
It was a bummer that we didn't get to see more of that. And AEW has, in terms of creatively, from my point of view anyways, has seemed to have stabilized a little bit. They got some cool stuff going on. It doesn't seem to be, I know I just threw some shade at the Young Bucks and their, a story going to a story. But besides that, like, their creative is kind of on stable ground. It might not be for everybody, but it's not, I don't think AEW's in we're trying to figure out who we are stage anymore, which they were a year ago.
Yeah.
So it's sad to me that he would be like, we got creative issues, creative differences. It's pro wrestling, it's fiction. It's sad to me that they can't get on the same page.
And so I looked, and so grain of salt, it was Meltzer that said that Miro didn't want to lose. This was 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago. Sorry, it's 2022 that report, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say for a second that aspect of the report, Miro doesn't want to lose, got somewhat misconstrued, and it was less I don't want to lose and what is the plan after I lose?
Sure, yeah, that
which is a different discussion that I'm not losing. You know what I mean?
Or even like, what are you doing with my character? You know, and if there is no, okay, well, you're going to lose this feud, and then we'll see. I mean, you can, on one hand, you can understand how there'd be frustration. On the other hand, I mean, you're bringing home, I don't know how much money, and it's, you're getting paid to do a job. So I don't know. I don't know about any of that. Not there, but if that's the deal, I don't know, man. So anyways, regardless, I hope the guy's happy. I hope he gets what he wants. And if that happens to be taking the Andrade route of going back to the Fed, to the WWE as Rusev, I think it'd be awesome to see Rusev employ a bit of the Miro aspect of that character. Let's pick that up.
To anything after the Miro character. That's
him and CJ are done, right?
I think they got divorced. Right?
Yeah,
separated, one of the two. You have a character that has the depth and the complexity of Miro and of the Redeemer in AEW. Like, how can you? I'm not saying you have to do a carbon copy of that, but a version of that, something comparable to that.
Oh yeah.
Because anything less is going to feel like a massive step down.
Dude, carbon copy it. I don't care.
I would not have a problem with it because I
would
feel
not
like
have a problem with that.
So much that they could have done with that character that we never saw. So much.
Dude, I get it. Like, 2 years ago, I understand it's probably difficult to give them the benefit of the doubt because there was so much like creatively not really hitting.
Yeah.
I understand that. $1 million a year is a lot of money. that's just to me though.
It is. It is a lot of money and I don't know. There's the balance of what you pay versus your satisfaction at your job. And, some people will be, willing to deal with a bunch of BS or unhappiness if the dollar amount's right. But everybody's different, so.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everybody, and they got their own versions of the story. They got their own point of views. And,
exactly.
I'm sure his is a valid one. We got some channel club members here, some Friendo club members. We got Jabroni Town here, new member here at the channel. The Ashen Chevalier as well. What a great name. Death and Tax has been a member now for 8 months. Says OT Cinema. That's a good one. And then NPR, not to be confused with National Public Radio, says Miro/Gunta when?
Yeah, that could be good.
Well, he has to get signed. He has to be released
we don't know if
first.
WWE has any interest in bringing him back.
But yeah, bring him in. Bring him in like they were going to bring Cross in for Wardlow, just chum. Just bring in, Miro just for
he
to
comes
be
in,
chopped.
Gets the power bomb from Gunther, full body pin. Never see Miro again at WWE. That's what you're saying.
Reform the League of Nations, but who do you replace Del Rio with?
So you have Miro, you have Sheamus.
Yep. Wade Barrett.
Well, Wade isn't wrestling anymore. Is he going to be the
Matter.
manager then?
Oh, he could be the manager. He probably could still wrestle, to be honest with you. He never retired for any reason.
No, not officially, no.
Yeah.
Bear Whitting says Andrade.
Ooh, I like that one. Who won that loser leaves town match, Andrade versus Miro in AEW? Wasn't it ironically Andrade who won that match? And
I
then
think
he
so, yeah, and then he was out the door. I thought this too. A couple people are mentioning Giovanni Vinci. Another rough night for him.
That's a good one. We're going to talk about Giovanni Vinci and his woes here in a second. But let's go ahead and pay the bills first, Larson.
Let's do it. This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. There was a time in my youth, Steve, when I was quite a curious child. I got into baseball like a lot when I was a kid. I was really into baseball.
Okay.
Collect baseball cards. I'd get a pack, open it, look at the back of the cards and study all the stats on there and try to memorize, like who hit for what average during the course of what year.
They had bubble gum in those packs?
Yes, they did back then. I'm that old.
Like stiff like cardboard, huh?
You got that right.
Mm-hmm.
But, somewhere along the way to adulthood, I kind of lost that curiosity, even when I find something that I do want to learn. The drive to actually learn it just isn't there.
Same here, man. I've seen it with my own kids. They're constantly learning and growing, and perhaps it's due to everything we have to concern ourselves with as adults. I've found that sense of curiosity certainly isn't what it used to be for me. Say for Star Trek trivia, I'm still really into that. But therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder, and if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. BetterHelp is completely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. All you got to do to get started is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and then you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
I've spoken about it here on the show before. My mid-20s, my life was basically taken over by severe anxiety, and I definitely lost any sense of curiosity. I didn't want to do much of anything. Eventually, I realized that I had to go to therapy, and therapy helped me learn the skills I needed to better cope with my anxiety and got my life back on track and put me on the path to hopefully becoming a better Larson. So rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw. And let's get a word from our sponsor, Liquid IV. Steve, football is back.
Yes.
The weather is getting cooler.
Ooh.
That must mean fall is nearly here. Hooray!
Nice.
And while I'm starting to work weekend football watching back into my fall rituals, one ritual that remains a constant for you and I year-round, played today, in fact.
We did.
Our semi-weekly 101 basketball games.
That's right, man. Temperatures may be down this time of year, but hydration up. Priority when we're hooping, and hydration and energy deserves to be a priority this fall with Liquid IV.
Steve, I got a question for you.
What?
You know me pretty well, yeah?
Yes, very well.
Know me for a very long time.
Absolutely.
Would you describe me as a high-energy individual?
I mean, you were on the court today, man. I tell you what, you were beating me up pretty thoroughly, Larson. But in general, in life, most of our audience, I think, even knows, not really.
Not at all, no. So it helps me tremendously when I can get a pep in my step when we're playing one-on-one and one stick of Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier Plus Energy and 16 ounces of water delivers 100 milligrams of natural caffeine plus 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. Liquid IV has also combined their awesome, and I mean awesome, peach flavor with the highly requested blackberry to provide an all-in-one formula that hydrates better than water alone and leaves me feeling focused and alert. So when I accomplish all the things I want to do on, like hitting 3-pointers in Steve's face and off the basketball court.
You're hitting them deep today, too, man. That was impressive. So tear, pour, and live more and start a new fall ritual with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code RAW at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code RAW at liquidiv.com.
All right, Steve, you know, put on our film critic hat.
Man, let's break this down because this Roman Cody bit, dude, I love it because, and I mentioned this also, SmackDown between this, the Chelsea Green bit, the trash bit.
Oh yeah, the guy out of the arena.
Yeah, with like a couple of awkward different angles. They probably should have shot that a bit different, but they got the A-team on the Roman Cody bit. Boy, oh boy, this looked fantastic. There's all sorts of shit going on here. Roman with a giant entourage, 7 cars, as Cody says.
Yeah.
Cody showing up in his one fancy white car, whatever that
I think it was a Mustang, wasn't it?
Was it? It was one of the. Oh, was it one of the new like electric Mustangs or something?
No, those are like crossover SUV looking.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Ones. Yeah. They
but
don't
this
look
was
like,
just like a new straight up Mustang.
I think it was a Mustang.
Okay, yeah. I don't know dick about cars. But he shows up. He rolls up. They go to Georgia Tech, and they go to the football field. Roman Reigns waiting around for Cody Rhodes, and and then they have this little talk, and it looked like a fucking movie. It was fucking awesome, and I love this kind of stuff. And here's the thing: this is the kind of stuff that Vince McMahon never would have allowed, and you love to see it. You love them just getting out there. I remember during pandemic, I was advocating for stuff like this. Let's get some promos just out and about places. Let's do some documentary type stuff. Let's mix it up a little bit. This looks like it should have been on the Fox network, but it kind of seems like maybe they were saving some of the good stuff for the USA Network return, because I thought it looked beautiful. I think Roman's acting classes clearly are paying off. Cody's a natural actor as well. Their chemistry was really good. We got some lens flares, so either they were generating those with a filter they used, or they actually had an anamorphic lens. Probably it was computer generated. But if they brought an anamorphic lens with them, squish that down and then stretch it out for the lens flare, oh man, that'd be something else.
Yeah. The only aspect of it that didn't quite hit right was Roman's last line, where he says, "You're in my way in life." Like if Cody had actually gotten out of the way.
You're right.
If Cody had gotten out of the way like he did, Roman says, "Hey, still in my way," and then walked off. That's better.
You don't need to hit the nail on the head with the hammer, but this is wrestling fans we're talking about. They're not going to quite get the subtext, maybe. I'm joking. But you're right. You don't need to hit the nail. We get the double meaning.
Yes.
You could just say, "You're in my way." Oh, there's a lot. There's layers to that one line.
Exactly.
You don't need to hit the nail on the
life.
head. In life.
Don't need to do that. Because I was into it. I was like, this looks good.
Yeah.
The back and forth was solid. And then when Roman said "in life," I'm like, oh gosh. He didn't quite stick the landing.
Yeah, right.
Just missed the landing a little bit.
Also, we discussed this on text message. They needed some split diopter.
Yeah.
That would have popped me so fucking hard. If you see like close up of Roman perfectly in focus,
close up, like eyebrow to middle of the chin, yeah.
Right. And then in the background, it's all widescreen in the background. You see like Cody perfectly in focus. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Just bust out all of Brian De Palma's filmmaking tricks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Instead of the montage of all the cars show up, 8-minute tracking shot,
Jeremy Borash was watching, God, what's the movie where he's a sound guy? Travolta's a sound guy. Blowout.
Blowout, yeah.
Borash was watching Blowout last night. Or Snake Eyes, the Nick Cage movie.
Or Untouchables.
Yeah, Untouchables, yeah. But boy, I love that. There was a period of time when everybody was going split diopter. It was amazing.
I know. It was a huge thing in probably the mid 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and going into the early 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of split diopter. Anyways, that's movie nerd talk. So essentially, the gist of this was Roman saying he's lost everything at the hands of New Bloodline. He has nothing. And Cody just wants some assurances that Roman's going to have his back for this tag match.
Yeah.
That's all he really cares about. He doesn't care that Roman has nothing. In fact, he
This,
kind of piles
yeah.
on a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He reiterates because Roman's
Yeah.
like, got nothing to lose. They took everything from me. And Cody's like, you're right. They did. They did take this. They did take this.
And I took
And
this.
and I took this. And Roman in response says, that's fine. But when all is said and done, I want that back. And Cody's like, it's not yours to take back. And that's when Roman says, you're in my way of life.
So they come to an understanding that they'll be a solid team,
They'll coexist.
for Bad Blood. After that, Roman obviously going for the title. He wants Azula Fala. He wants Jimmy. He wants Heyman back. He wants everything that he lost.
Is this the start of an 18-month story, or do you think this is going to be a thing where they want this match for Mania, the next May 41, or do you see this as being, because they're going to rematch this, you got to figure it's got to be a WrestleMania rematch, right? Like, I'm sorry, a rematch at WrestleMania.
Maybe, it's... If it is going to be a WrestleMania match, like it's going to have to be somewhere down the line, somewhat, because it's just this upcoming year, it's either going to be Cody Rock or it's going to be Rock Roman.
Right, yeah, yeah. Cody Roman too doesn't really. Let me ask you, they're not going to do this in Saudi, are they?
See, I feel like before Roman, they might Solo interferes.
Because those are supposed to be WrestleMania equal to or less than.
They'll do something like the Bad Bloodline will do something to wonk up the match, and Roman will be like, "All right, Solo, you and I, Ula follow on the line."
Yeah,
I mean, that's whether that's at Mania, Rumble, who knows? If it's Cody Rock at Mania, it's going to be Roman Solo for the Ula follow. That's going to be Roman's Mania match, probably. Mm-hmm. If it's Roman Rock at Mania, then if that's the case, and The Rock reveals that he's behind New Bloodline, heck, he might have the Ula follow at that point.
That would actually not be a terrible idea. That would actually be an incredibly
So then that match
good
isn't
idea.
just for The Rock's People's Championship. You know what I mean?
It's a good looking title.
It is.
But no, I agree that the people's title should not be a factor. It should not be a sanctioned title. The Ula follows everything. And maybe Roman is laying out the groundwork, the steps that he has to take to get back to Cody, because that was the last thing that he mentioned. So he's talking about, I want Jimmy and the Wise Man back. Well, War Games might accomplish that if he gets Jimmy back for War Games. I don't know what that business was Rikishi was talking about the other day. I hope Jimmy's okay. Yeah, and I know Fightful had a report that said
that
he was fine.
Yeah, so hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, he's probably talking about the booking of Jay or something. I don't know. But if he gets, the team, the family back together, that could be symbolic of War Games, which is a multi-man deal.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, what they could do is in Saudi, he takes on Solo for the Ula Fala. Mm-hmm. And because that happens before War Games.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
It's got to happen after War Games if it's good bloodline versus bad bloodline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Because why would bad bloodline follow Solo into War Games if he doesn't have the Ula Fala?
Yeah. I just get the feeling, given how much Rock really seemed to be into the Cody stuff, I get the feeling they're going to do that sooner than like Mania this 2025. That makes sense.
You think it'd be Roman Solo then?
They really need to build up Solo. Unless they do a switcheroo where Jacob becomes the guy,
Entirely possible.
Because there's a lot of reaction for Sacramento's own Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool. He got to wrestle in the main event in his hometown.
Heck yeah, that was cool. The crowd sort of was like, what the hell was that in the end? Kind of the same. It was a good crowd until they wonked that finish.
It was a terrible wonk.
It was not a good wonk.
It didn't make any sense. It made zero sense. No sense. Let's talk about the women's title scene. So we had this tag match where if Bayley and Naomi won, whoever scored the pinfall would be Nia's opponent at Bad Blood. Last week, despite the fact that I failed to remember what the rules for a standard tag match were, I was like, we're getting double pin. That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Nick Aldis announced today that it was going to be a tornado tag match.
Because he watches this show.
Maybe.
And he was like, yeah, we're gonna do a double pin. And then he heard me when you said that, and then when I said this is a standard tag, somebody's got to be legal. He was like, oh no, I've got to make this tornado.
So he spins around, yeah.
Spins around like a tornado.
I'm going retro. And so that's what we got, double pin, as expected. A really cool finish, a really fun match, really should have been.
Nia Jax is an absolute treasure.
Oh, yeah.
The look on her face when she got double pinned, and when she was getting pinned, she started screaming because she couldn't kick out.
Yeah.
She is an absolute treasure. That look on her face afterwards, she's got some of the best facial expressions.
She really does.
She's so good.
She really does.
So yeah, I thought they were going to do triple threat here, but no, they're going to do instead.
They're going to wonk the finish next week.
You think so?
Be a triple threat, yeah.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that could make some amount of sense. I don't know. I still think it's possible that they do Bayley versus Nia. Bayley ends up winning next week, but maybe Nia and Tiffany try to wonk it, or they come out there to play some mind games. Bayley ends up getting the win because of that. During the match with Nia, Tiffany tries to interfere. Naomi comes down to help her out, but ends up inadvertently distracting the finish that, and Bayley ends up losing, and that's how you springboard into the Naomi-Bayley feud, which seems to be likely.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely seems like we're getting some feud with them. So,
Yeah.
We had LA Knight retain the U.S. title against Andrade. We're getting Andrade Carmelo Part 6 next week.
That was a messy-ass finish, but that was a good match. That was a really good match.
It was a good match. The brawl backstage with Melo and Andrade was good.
Oh, my God. That looks so real.
I know, especially because the camera hit Andrade, I think in his shoulder or something.
Yeah.
And so after that, there was sweat all over.
It was just drenched in sweat. Yeah,
sweat all over the camera lens. Yeah, it felt very genuine.
Dude, I swear, I was trying to look at, because I was like, Andrade's going hard on Carmelo right now. And you look at Carmelo's face, and it looked like he was like, oh, God, I need to, stiffen up a little bit here because this dude's going out. Regardless, it looked real as hell, and I love to see that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And we got incremental development here on Kevin Owens' eventual turn on Cody, where they have the face-to-face at Georgia Tech with Cody and Roman. First thing they do is look for reaction from Kevin Owens. And at first, speechless. He walks away from Byron Saxton. Byron asks him later on, hey, now do you feel like talking? Kevin Owens says, well, if I'm going to talk, I'm going to go out to the ring and do it. He goes out for a promo. Before he can say how he feels, he's interrupted by bad bloodline. Mm-hmm. So after the main event and the wonky nature of it, after Cody gets off his ass from catering, enjoying that last savory bite of prime rib, I'm sure.
It was probably cold by then. He got back from Georgia Tech. He's like, it was kind of cold out there.
Hold up.
What?
What do you mean he flew in from Sacramento from Georgia Tech?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. I thought you meant he drove in his Mustang all the way from
wrestling. You can do it fake. Yeah, I totally
Georgia
forgot there.
to California, cross country.
It was actually in Sac State. They just rushed a Georgia Tech logo up there.
So we had a repeat of what we saw, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, where Kevin Owens behind Cody holding the chair, acting like he's on the verge of blasting him with it.
This time he was horny to do it, man.
He was on the verge of very much horny to do it. Yes, we're going to see it a third time, and the third time he's going to blast Cody with it.
The rule of threes right there, man.
There
that's
it is.
What you got to do, yeah. You think that's going to be their Saudi match? Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes again?
Maybe.
Could be.
At some point, Randall Keith Orton's going to have to have a match with Cody.
Yeah, no, I think this alliance with Cody's gonna generate some bad feelings, man.
It's gonna blow up the Cody Avengers.
It is, yeah.
The only person that might be a bit more forgiving towards Cody about all this is going to be Sammy.
Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe.
Sammy's bloodline, man, his honorary use.
Yes.
DJ Chicken here has been a member, oh my God, for 65 months.
No way.
Says, I'm celebrating my 42nd trip around the sun, and I want to throw up my ones for y'all and the friendos for being awesome. He says, P.S. 4 months until, oh man, what's 4 months from now?
That would be January 20th.
What significance does that have?
I don't know.
Okay.
Hey, we got a significant day coming up Sunday. That's the 10-year anniversary of Going in Raw.
Crazy.
We're gonna do something Monday. We're gonna do something Monday, right?
We discussed it today during basketball. I think I can definitely get myself in the headspace to get out of our routine and celebrate us on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do a
Low
live.
effort, low energy thing. It's not going to be a highly produced creation. It's just going to be, I think, us reminiscing essentially.
We're just gonna sit there and stare at each other.
And talk and see what
It's gonna
happens.
be like Georgia Tech with Cody and Roman. Yeah, no, we're gonna get together. We're gonna do a live stream. Yeah, we're just gonna hang out in person because we don't really do that. So there's a special
Yeah,
treat for.
that's the
I
special.
was telling you today. I mean, I don't know if this is a tangent or not or whatever, but like 10 years is a big deal, and I'm incredibly number one proud of what we've accomplished. I think we're allowed to be that. And number two, I'm just very grateful of what the Friendos have allowed us to accomplish
Yes,
as well.
very much so. Yes.
Having done Going in Raw now for 10 years. Next year is our 15-year working anniversary because we
Yeah.
did 5 years of machinima prior to that. But I'll be honest, like I'm not feeling like our 5-year anniversary. If you remember, we did like a video. We had
Yeah.
Dan send in a thing. I
Oh,
think
yeah, a lot of people sent stuff.
A bunch of
Yeah.
stuff sent stuff
Yeah.
in. A bunch of people sent stuff in, and it was very cool. And this year, I'm just not feeling particularly nostalgic. I don't know why. I think you know why. The last 5 years has like gone, partially thanks to COVID and
Yeah.
just a variety of
It's
things.
zoomed by. It absolutely has.
Last year was a whirlwind of emotion and a lot of stuff. But like I'm so focused on like what we're doing now. It's like I really like some of the stuff we got going on at Friendo Club. This Going in Raw stuff is always like an evolving thing, and I'm just excited, about that as opposed to looking back. But 10 years is a cool thing, so we're gonna get together. I don't know. Maybe we can bring some donuts or something. I don't know.
Some
We'll do
McGriddles.
something. Yeah, that's too much. Let's keep it simple, man. Donuts.
Donuts. All right.
McGriddles are
Very
gonna-
well.
Yeah.
We'll
yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
stream for.
does Burger King have any weird Whoppers out right now?
I don't think so.
Probably not, huh?
Excuse me.
I mean, here's the thing. Old Zero Star here says best moments maybe. Here's the problem. How many videos do we have on this channel?
Thousands.
Yeah. So finding all that stuff is such a task.
We would have to start looking for this stuff months ago. Months ago. And when did Steve, you put up the thing about people's favorite moments, 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Simply not enough time to get it done. When people say, hey, we love when you said, hey, you're not me for the first time. I have no clue where that is.
When did we do that even?
I'm pretty sure it's when we used to get it together at your house and work there.
Yeah.
But that was 2 years, 3 years, 2.5 years worth of shows.
There's 100 of these memories. Some of these things though, like Ken, I'm looking at the thread right now. Ken here says, "Is that my guy, R.I.P. Enforcer?"
Yeah, I know where that's at. Yeah.
That's up. We can get that at Friendo Club right now. There's a super cut of that at Friendo Club. There's a lot of the stuff is archived in best ofs. I mean, if you guys want, I can just sort of make a playlist of that. Maybe we can watch a playlist. I don't know. This is good. This is a new. I like some of these are kind of newer ones. Like this one, Jonathan Marsh says the breakdown of the Dave Meltzer Glizzy editorial. He says my stomach hurt from laughing so hard.
Yeah,
that was really,
fun.
that was pretty recent.
I mean, technically, that's on Friendo Club Wrestling, though. It's not on Going in Raw.
Oh, come on. It's all the same shit. That's
Saying
just so we can
technically
no. That is so we can make more money, because if we put that stuff here, it'll tank. If we put it over there, it has a chance. It's the same thing.
It's on Friendo Club Wrestling.
Okay. Joel the Mex has a really good one. Says when Larson leaves the call after he finds out Steve has purple phone, Larson, end of an era, because on Sunday, the next time we meet, I'll no longer have purple phone. This will be the property of Alabama.
I'm going to probably try to get a new phone pretty soon, too.
Really?
Yeah, this thing, the microphone on it doesn't work anymore, really.
Yeah,
So
I've
if I try to
already
make a
ordered
call, people
mine.
Can't.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's terrible.
Yeah. Basically useless as its primary duty, which is making and taking phone calls.
Yeah, true. But these days you can text anything and everybody.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
So,
yeah.
anyways, as far as doing like a full like retrospective, that's on us. if we want to do that, would have to set that up a long time ago. So we appreciate everybody putting in their what they the moments they enjoyed most because it's fun
to talk about them. We can look at the list.
Absolutely,
You
some of
know,
them we can try to track down, but
maybe
in
we can
terms
load
of like
them up.
doing a full-on compilation, a clip show, it's we didn't prep adequately enough. So
Yeah, I just don't. It's the idea. Look, here's the thing. It's not that we didn't have enough time. It's I don't really have a desire to sift through a bunch of shit.
yeah, and like you, I'm not feeling.
I tried to find. Listen, I tried to find when my dad broke kayfabe on your name.
That was at the office.
No, I know, and I know the pay-per-view. I sifted through that pay-per-view, could not find it.
Yeah, I was looking for. We had a bit about I think Baron Corbin and a replicator from Next Generation during the Backlash 2018 live stream. I was skimming through that, couldn't find it.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, like you have to sit there and watch the whole stream to find these things.
I know. Yeah, you try to inch forward and it goes forward 5 minutes. You might be in that 5 minutes.
It could be.
Were you about to say you're not nostalgic as well?
Yeah, I'm not feeling terribly nostalgic about it as well because I think the first 5 years, when we hit the 5-year mark, it felt like, that this felt like 5 years. I'm not saying that.
A lot of stuff had happened in that time.
Yeah, I'm not saying that negatively. I'm just saying the first 5 years felt like 5 years. These last 5 years, it's felt like a year and a half in a lot of respects.
It has. No, it absolutely has. And look, we can look at the thing. A lot's happened in the last 5 years as well, but it has felt like 18 months.
Yeah, it's gone by super quick. So it doesn't feel like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like 7.5.
I know,
6.5.
I agree.
Sorry, 6.5, 7 to me.
It still feels like 2019 is like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's crazy. Anyways, this is a SmackDown review. We're going to talk about SmackDown now.
We'll continue that conversation on Monday.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll talk about why we don't want to reminisce on Monday when we're there to reminisce.
I know.
I'm so happy with like where we're at right now and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And that's just where I'm focused. Like that's just how I am right now.
Yeah, I'll queue up some Little River Band on Spotify. Some reminiscing before we go live. Maybe it'll put us in the mood to reminisce, Steve.
Okay, all right.
Dude.
I don't know if I know that one, but I'm down to listen.
For about like a 2-year span, that greatest hits of Little River Band is the only thing my dad listened to. So I know that album backwards and forward.
Okay, yeah. Well, hey, we'll put it on, man, and then we'll get ready to reminisce. We'll get some cigars or something. Should we do donuts, beer? What we should do?
Well, if it's 10 in the morning, I don't know if beer is a good idea. Especially if you're going to try to play basketball afterwards.
Shit. We're self-employed, man. We can do what we want.
No, I mean in terms of... So after we played basketball, we're 43 minutes in. We haven't got the SmackDown thing yet, but here we go. So after we played hoop today, I come home and my wife says, hey, you want to go get lunch? I'm like, sure, let's do it. And so we go have lunch, and there's a brewery next door.
Yeah.
So I go there, have a beer.
Oh, geez.
And then we go to one more place. So it's like, I don't know, 2:30. I've had 2 beers. I'm like, I'm ready for bed.
Mm-hmm,
I'm tired. Beer just makes me tired now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So beer at 10 in the morning is just going to make me want to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, yeah, and we were going to play ball afterwards, so
yeah,
probably not a great idea.
Have some donuts just sitting in our guts.
Blech.
Like bricks.
Blech. Anyways, SmackDown opened up with a recap of last week, and it's advertising that Cody and Roman are going to have a little face-to-face at Georgia Tech. Then we see the Bloodline arriving, and each member comes through, they got the metal detector there because we're in Sacramento. And, the Tama Tonga, they start to pat him down, one of the local competitors, which I'm so sad. Yeah. I'm so sad that nobody from Action Coast was hired for that. I was so hoping that Jacob Fatu super kicked that idiot Trip Rogers' face clean off. That would have been amazing.
Maybe Jacob could have got your water bottle back for you.
I know. That guy's a thief. He then turned it back on me and said I stole his water bottle, even though he still has possession of it. He's insane. Yeah. He's insane.
That's not a good argument for him to make.
Anyways, Jacob lays out the entire security team. Unfortunately, Trip Rogers wasn't there. And then we had a killer LA Knight versus Andrade match.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Yeah, did you notice, is this Tron of his new that's got like a robot thing?
It's got a robot that had eye lasers.
Right.
And I think it is new. A commentary mentioned.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
they
yeah, because
did?
Corey made a Dr. Manhattan reference.
Oh, I wish I heard that. That's great.
Um, even though it looked more like a robot in the Tron, but it had like glowing blue parts of it.
Yeah, no, it
The
did
robot
totally.
did, so I get it. But
Did he
shooting
show like
lasers.
Dr. Manhattan? Did the robot have full hog out on display?
I think it was just from like
It
mid torso
was.
up.
Yeah.
No,
I'm gonna
no front
assume,
area on display. No.
the year is 2024. Andrade is on SmackDown trying to win the United States Championship. The year is 2019. Andrade is on SmackDown trying to win the US Championship.
Yeah.
He was actually on Raw back then. But anyways, yeah. So LA Knight towards the finish of this match tries to do that thing where he like quickly jumps up those ropes because Andrade's up on the top corner and
Sometimes he
and
can do
do
it.
the thing that he does, and then he just kept on slipping, and so they had to improvise really quick. And Andrade tried for a drop kick off that and just landed 8-0, 8 Matt, and then he gets up and LA Knight hits him with the billionaire finger trap.
Yeah.
And gets the win. And then afterwards, like LA Knight is bleeding probably just because it was a mess there or whatever. And he tries to like fist bump him. He like says something. He's like, "Hey, you're." And then Andrade does this, and they're not budging. LA Knight doesn't say, "Okay, cool." I don't know what that
But
was.
then Andrade like opens up LA Knight's hand to do the handshake.
He forces it open.
Yeah, and it shakes his hand, then raises his arm and leaves.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was a little awkward.
It was a little awkward, but
By
you know
little, I
what?
mean a lot.
I was just confused. What is the story they're telling?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe
Rock,
it's just
paper,
a legit,
scissors.
A
of some
legit
sort.
miscommunication. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we're backstage.
Paper
Tiffany,
beats rock.
now if you'd done this, then yes.
Papel.
So Tiffany and Nia are backstage. So Tiffany's talking about getting her nails done earlier in the day. She says it's going to feel good to send either Naomi or Bailey from SmackDown and never have to see one of them again. And Nia says, Bailey and Naomi are coming after my title. So if you lose us this match tonight, might be best for you to leave SmackDown.
Wow. Originally, I thought that was the thing, but no. And then Andrade's backstage. He walks up to Carmelo. And, of course, Melo has the audacity here in Sacramento
Oh, love it.
to once again rub it in our faces that we got jobbed out by refs in 2002.
I love it because the crowd reacted. It was great.
We still haven't gotten over it.
I guess not.
I haven't gotten over it. A lot of people haven't gotten over it. Anyways, he says, I haven't seen
Oh,
a
the
choke
King's
like
got
that.
a raw deal. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we got a raw deal. That dude was gambling, betting, everything, man.
Yeah, raw
What a
deal.
mess. Anyways.
That being said, it was a good reference for Carmelo to make. I liked it.
Yeah, it was. Anyways, he says, you lost. He says, put the fries in the bag, bro. You lost. And then Andrade takes a swing. They start brawling. The refs come in and break it up. But it was just a really, it didn't look like a standard pro wrestling backstage brawl.
No, it seemed legit.
They were laying it in. I love it too, man, because if these guys can establish a feud that's going to, they can revisit it and revisit it and revisit it, people will remember it fondly, then that's great.
Yep. And then we got the face-to-face with Roman and Cody. So Roman arrives first via motorcade. 7 SUVs. He gets out of the middle one. So he walks out onto the football fields where he played college football at Georgia Tech. Takes it all in. Goes and stands at midfield. Cody arrives in his Mustang. Takes the undisputed title from inside and beats Roman at midfield. I'll be Roman, Steve. You can be Cody.
Okay, sounds good.
Since you're #1 Cody fan.
You got to bring your Oscar performance, though, man. You got to, there you go. Get into Meisner, get into character, man. Come on.
You gonna do the repetition thing?
You know what came on the other night on Pluto TV, oddly enough, not one of the Star Trek channels. Marathon Man. It was like 5 minutes before
why don't you try acting, huh?
Yeah, it was 5 minutes before that scene with the mouth.
Yeah.
And then you see the actual marathon aspect of it where he's just running from, wow, what's that dude's name? I forget his name. It's not Hamilton, it's the other guy, the other leathery dude from back then. So yeah.
So Roman says, "You see the ground you stand under. Everything you put your eyes on here is mine. Years ago, I shed blood, sweat, and tears on this field. So that means this is my field. If this is my field, it means this is my stadium. If this is my stadium, it means this is my city. What have you done with my city?"
Cody does his little, like he's getting
I know.
your stadium. You know what's on the other side of this stadium? Center stage, the place they used to call the Omni. Multiple generations of my family bleed for this city, in this city. This is your field, but this is my home.
This is your home. Why don't we cut to the chase? Why don't we get down to the facts here? You have everything, and you're dealing with people with nothing to lose. They took Jimmy, my wise man, my bloodline, and my Ulafala. I don't have anything. For the first time in a long time, there's no weight on my neck. It's all on yours. I'm a man with no country now.
I mean, at some point, Cody did point out that he brought 7 cars, so he's got something.
Yeah, he's got something.
He says, you're telling me like I'm supposed to be surprised. I told you before Mania that you'd be standing here, a chief without a tribe. They took Jimmy, your wise man, the Ulafala. You think you've got nothing to lose, though? Take a look around WWE. We already got a tribal chief, not you. We have a WWE champ. It's not you. So if you can't even beat your own bloodline, who's standing here right now, it's not the biggest box office attraction in the history of WWE. It's the guy they used to call Roman Reigns.
Roman didn't like that.
No, he didn't.
He did
winced.
not.
He winced.
He says, what do you want? Just tell me what you want.
Cody says, what do you want? I want your word that you'll have my back so I can have yours.
I give you my word. I'll have your back. Just understand this. When it's all done, I'm taking back what's mine.
And then he's about to leave, and Cody stops him, gets in his way of life. And he says, it's not yours to take.
You're in my way.
And so Cody steps aside.
You're in my way in life!
End scene.
There we go. That was cinema.
That was cinema right there, man. We should have letterboxed. Oh, I should have killed the graphics and letterboxed this
there
shit,
we go.
man.
Here, I'll do it on Twitch real quick. There we go.
There we go. In life.
In life.
Oh, man. And I was watching that. Kevin Owens backstage. He's watching this epic cinematic encounter between Roman and Cody. Saxon walks in for an interview. He's like, tell me about your thoughts about all this stuff. And he just sort of walks away. So he's not ready to talk about that. After the commercial, Kevin Owens is still stewing backstage. And then we get the rematch of the century, Apollo Crews versus Vittoria Giovanni Vinci. Crews gets a roll-up win this time. There is a little bit more action, but not much.
No.
And then Vinci slides out of the ring and just attacks Crews, puts him back in the ring, and hits a brainbuster. But the match is over.
Yeah. Where was that? A couple minutes prior.
Right.
Giovanni.
Yeah.
Then Brian Saxton walks up to Kevin Owens again. He's like, all right, you ready to talk now? And that's when Owens says, you know what? I'm going to talk out there. So he comes to the ring, drops a promo. Says, obviously people are curious how I feel based on this team up of Roman and Cody after all that's happened the last several years. And he says, I got to be honest. Before he can continue, bad bloodline minus Solo Sikoa interrupts.
Mm-hmm.
Tama Tonga does his cornholio. Says, you better let the right-hand man speak, because the crowd booing. Says, last week, Roman and Cody embarrassed our tribal chief. Big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get what's coming to them at bad blood, but you, Kevin Owens, you're going to get what's coming to you by orders of the tribal chief, Solo Sikoa. So Kevin Owens says, all right, no one's here to talk anymore. We all know where it's going. Get in here so I can punch you in your stupid face. Brawl breaks out. Bad bloodline overwhelms Kevin Owens. DIY to no reaction at all. 0. It's crickets, the Golden One Center.
Uncultured Sacramento swine.
If you were there, you wouldn't have done anything either, Steve.
I would. Oh, I would have been like, we are. Like, yeah, get him.
Lies.
I love you, Gargano.
You wouldn't have said that.
I love you, Tom Ciampa.
Yeah, you're a Tom Ciampa guy. Come on.
I'm a Tom Ciampa guy.
Anyways, they make the saves, and all this leads a bunch of security out. Just keep everyone separated, and you make a 6-man tag match.
Yeah.
For the main event, even though the tornado tag match really should have been the main event.
Yeah, okay, but here's the thing, though. I understand kind of like we talked about that, but then they had the segment afterwards, and they could have done it so Aldis was like,
no, just leave it on the cliffhanger. What's going to happen with the women's title match?
Oh, that's actually a really cool idea. Yeah,
and then they address it next week.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. Or on Twitter. Anyways, we have Naomi and Bayley talking backstage. And both of them are sort of, it's like the thing where Bailey's like, when I win this with you, I'm going to go on and get my title back. And Naomi's like, hold on a second. I've been wanting this title since I got back here. So when I win, I'm going to do it. And they're like, it's like, they're very friendly, but it's like, this is going to be an issue.
Yeah. And it was during the match at one point.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was cool, though.
But yeah, this match was awesome. Nia and Tiffany taking on Naomi and Bailey. Tons of fun. Tornado tag matches. All tag matches should be tornado tag matches, especially after the main event where it's just pretty formulaic tag match.
And we had just a lame, normal hot tag, man. With
There's two
Dawkins.
hot tags in the main event.
Worst.
Two.
Worst.
Ford to Dawkins and Dawkins to Kevin Owens.
I saw Dawkins and Kevin Owens. I didn't know.
I know you popped huge for both of them.
No, I did not.
No hot tags here because there's no tagging in a tornado tag match.
I know. It's amazing. It's awesome.
Fun. Tons of fun. At one point, Bailey and Naomi hit a double team move. Bailey covers and Naomi pulls her off the cover, and they argue a little bit.
Well, yeah.
In the end, though, we get the double cover. Naomi and Bailey hit Tiffany with a 1D. Put your ones up, Steve.
What? Oh, 1D? Yeah, 1D. I'll put my ones up for that.
And then, so Nia blasts Naomi from behind, hits Bailey with a Samoan drop. So Naomi comes in looking for a jackknife pin, while Bailey, still selling the Samoan drop, kind of does the crucifix pin at the same time. Ref counts the 3. They both win. So, of course, naturally, there's confusion in the ring about who is the one winner. But, obviously, they both pin Nia, therefore, they both win.
Yeah, right. This should be a triple threat.
It should be, and hopefully it will be.
You think more likely it's going to be a wonk finish triple threat?
Oh, I don't know about most likely, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me either way if it's a triple threat or if Bailey wins. It wouldn't surprise me either way.
Yeah. We shall see. I really like this next bit. Chelsea Green was out promoting the street fight
dumpster match.
The dumpster match in Nashville, and so she's out there with dumpsters, and she's got like one of them little beat dummy things with Mi Chin's like a picture of her head on it. And she was just out there being silly. It was tons of fun. I love that she just takes every opportunity and just runs with it. Chelsea Green is great. And yeah, this was really fun stuff.
Yeah, this was tons of fun.
And knowing how awesome Mia Yim's been lately with matches like this, like she had the Jada Parker phenomenal match in NXT. Fun, yeah, and the Nia Jax street fight as well. This is going to be just a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Same. And then we have Bailey and Naomi. They're arguing in Nick Aldis's office about who won the match, and Aldis says, all right, you both have a claim to the title shot, but there can only be one, so next week, one-on-one, winner gets the title opportunity at Bad Blood.
I like how Principal's office this felt, because they're both sitting there, and they both know what's coming. And he's like, but there's only one way to solve this. And I was like, oh, just say triple threat.
I know.
And he said, you know what I'm talking about. Next week, you go one-on-one. And they're like, oh, man.
Yep. After that, we were supposed to have KO and DIY.
We are.
Would have not have popped for him here either. But as their music hits, we cut backstage, and the Bloodline is destroying them.
Oh, Tom Ciampa, you let them get the jump on you.
Yep.
Bummer.
John Gargano, same. So Owens goes up the ramp as the Bloodline is making their entrance. Fight happens. Street Profits come make the save for Kevin Owens. And then he takes out basically everyone with a senton off the top. Go to commercial. We come back. We have a 6-man tag match. But now it's Kevin Owens, Street Profits.
Let me ask you this. Does this...
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this sets up the Street Profits to be next in line for the Bloodline probably in terms of, fighting for the tag titles. They're not going to drop those titles anytime soon, are they? It's going to be like the thing that they have.
Yeah, probably.
I think so. I don't think it's going to be the problem. It might not even be a team that's even formed yet that takes those off the Bloodline, because I think they're going to have them for a while.
Frazier and Axiom.
Pretty deadly.
Maybe.
When are we going to get that musical, man?
So this was a really bad ending to the match.
Yeah.
So Kevin Owens hits a stunner on Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa pulls Kevin Owens out of the ring and pushes him into the ring steps. And the ref, for some reason, we've seen this 1,000 times, calls for the DQ. Why? Explain to me why.
This episode was about to end.
It's a common occurrence. It happens all the time.
We need to wrap this up. too much. They did too much.
So a
They
bunch
did
of
it too many
mayhem happens. We don't
times.
have to get into a bunch of suicide dives and triple power bomb attempts. DIY comes back out, gets laid out again by Bloodline. Eventually, Cody, after about 5 minutes of beatdown, finally makes his way to the ring with the chair, takes out Tama Tonga Tongaloa. Fatu kicks the chair out of Cody's hands, but eats a Cody cutter. So then Kevin Owens picks up the chair and he's standing behind Cody. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit you, you bastard. Oh, you SOB, I'm gonna destroy you with this." And then Cody eventually turns around, and Kevin Owens throws the chair aside, and Cody's like, "Come on, you all right? Shake my hand." And Kevin Owens kind of hesitantly goes over and shakes his hand. He's like, "Are you all right, Cody?" He's like, Cody says, "Yeah, I'm fine. Are you all right?" So that's how it ends.
Lord Corgi says, I thought it was a count out. It wasn't a count out, was it?
No, the ref called for a DQ. That's what the commentary said. The ref called the ref threw the match out.
Yeah, Garrix didn't get that. Or I'm sorry, no, this is your notes here, isn't it? Are we going to have Garrix do the Raw notes, dude? I'm sorry, the SmackDown notes, rather.
What's that?
Once SmackDown goes 3 hours, we're going to have Garrix do those.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's one more thing off your plate.
Yeah. It's too much. Now, commentary made a point of saying, "Oh, referee's discretion, blah blah blah." The match was getting out of hand, so we just threw it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man, my goodness gracious. Yeah, let's go ahead and answer some questions.
We'll go to Twitch chat here. We got a raid from Rick, and Rick asked, "Should the pin by Naomi not have counted since her feet were under the rope?" I don't know, because it was a tornado tag, if that matters.
Yeah, I don't know if that matters or not, but I do know.
But thank you for the raid, Rick.
Thank you very much, Rick.
And then I think PW Unlimited with the raid as well. Yes.
That's cool. That's very nice of y'all.
Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate the raid over there on the Twitch. All right, here we go. First up. Okay, Jabroni Town says, does Steve's fish Gary acknowledge him as tribal chief? If so, is Larson the enforcer, the right-hand man, or Tongaloa equivalent?
Well, does Gary the fish have a concept of head of the table?
Head of the table is the guy who puts food on the table.
All right.
So, yes, I think he acknowledges. Because I walk by, he goes... At the same time, though, he does the same thing for Lacey. It's just whoever walks by, if he's hungry, he will let them know. Everybody knows what Hungry Gary looks like. So, yeah, he just acknowledges the concept of...
Being fed.
Yeah, being fed. Yeah.
All right. Kelmiko here says, I'll be in LA next week. Any food spots you suggest I check out? Del Taco's.
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
I go to Roscoe's.
Baby.
Yeah, Roscoe's is a must. I mean, there's so many eateries in LA that are LA institutions.
Yeah, sure.
It's a huge list.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's...
Felipe's, the best French dip you'll get.
Oh, there you go. There's what's it called Johnny's, I think. It's a pastrami place. They're super good.
Wow. Yeah.
Johnny's or Jimmy's. I don't remember which one it is.
Tyler Warden 93 says, thinking way ahead here, but how does Roman become even bigger? How does he break the mold that he himself established? Just gobs of steroids, just massive, like Hammerstone big.
The operation where you make your legs longer.
The operation where you get bicep implants. You seen those, dudes?
Oh my gosh, it's so
dude.
ridiculous.
Hey, I don't want anybody to look this up. Did you hear about the guy in Nashville who's missing part of a head?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you actually see the pictures?
Yeah, it's gnarly, man.
That's gnarly.
It is. It's pretty messed up.
Well, I hope he gets back in that hospital, man.
Yeah,
oh boy,
so.
That's rough.
Lonnie here says, what is your favorite and most heartbreaking sports moment you watched live on TV or in person? It's when the Kings got a raw deal. Was it Robert Ory specifically?
Vlade Divac couldn't pull down a rebound. Instead, he just sort of flicked it to Robert Ory, who was hovering out of place, out of position, just up at the top of the key, but it went to him.
Kurt Gibson, Game 1 of the 1988 World Series, hits a game-winning home run off Dennis Eckersley.
Okay,
that's the most heartbreaking sports moment I've ever watched live.
Okay, yeah.
Crushed.
Let's see here. Blind Cinephile Javier says, where do you see Miro going if he was granted his release? And who would you like to see him feud with first?
So, for the sake of conversation, let's take WWE out of it. WWE says, no, we're not interested. Where would you want Miro to go?
Brother, I don't watch anything else. You know what I mean? Like wherever he wants to go, because I don't watch it.
Hollywood. He goes acting. He was in that movie with
I
Dolph
watched
where he
it.
was Miro and pointed a gun at him. Sorry,
Yeah.
he was Rusev. He was wrestling
Yeah,
Rusev, but he was also armed.
I'd watch a CBS police procedural with Miro.
Hold on
in
a
it.
second. Have you ever watched that movie?
No, of course not.
All right, just asking.
Well,
Because
were you
Dolph
gonna-
isn't Dolph in the movie, right? He's a different character.
Right, yeah. But I think somebody told us that Dolph was in the movie also as Dolph, but then he was also not Dolph.
So did Rusev know he was pointing a gun at not Dolph, or was he trying to point a gun at Dolph?
I think the idea is like they look different, but they don't. I'll be
All
honest,
right.
I don't know, man. I think I'm lying about that one. I think
It'd
I
be
just
funny
made
if he
that
thought
up.
he was pointing a gun at Dolph, but it wasn't.
It would be hilarious, yeah. That sounds like more of an AEW thing, though.
Let's see here. Alex Foster says American Made always beat Alpha Academy, and Wyatt Six always beats American Made. Does that mean Alpha Academy should always beat the Wyatt Six, like rock paper scissors?
Well,
Not
rock,
Alpha
paper,
Academy.
scissors is like, oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, but Alpha Academy's not beating Wyatt Six. I don't think anybody's beating Wyatt Six for a while.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I appreciate the logic. Let's see here. Lord Blake Whitehouse, with SmackDown going to 3 hours in a few months, who should get called up from NXT to add depth to the roster? Yeah, SmackDown is going to need a couple call-ups.
Yeah.
Fraxium.
Yeah, Fraxium would be cool. They're great.
Gallus.
Call up the Good Brothers.
Apparently they had a dark match tonight.
Oh, they did get called up then, huh?
They did. They got called up. They're getting tryout matches on main roster.
Remember Carl Anderson had a dark match the last time SmackDown was in Sacramento? It was before the show.
Did
It was on the show. It was on the show. Sorry. I think it was
Yeah,
opening
he
match.
opened it up
was the
against.
opening match. Sorry.
Who did he open up against? Dom?
was-
No.
No, Dom had the dark match.
Dom had Cena.
Oh, no, it was really short.
It was.
It was a really short match.
Dave Matushek, with Ken Shamrock signing a contract for WWE, do you think he'll be wrestling again or in the Hall of Fame? WCW revamp. He's going to be a
Don't get Steve
cornerstone
started on
there.
this. Don't get
He's going to be a cornerstone. Netflix is bringing back WCW. And yeah, it's going to be like a Legends division type thing. Be like a half-hour show.
Creamy Beef Tips says, which will happen first, a women's mid-card title or a great tag team division? Oh, the women's mid-card title. That's totally happened first before Triple H puts the energy into building up. a
Oh
really
my God,
interesting
yeah.
tag division.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree
Yeah,
with
without
that.
doubt.
Zyshawn Moore, who's your favorite unsung hero of a faction in pro wrestling history? It is Rusev in the Favored Nations.
League of Nations.
Yeah, that League of Nations.
Yeah, that would be especially Rusev. Whenever he had something to do, he always put his all into it. He
He really did, yeah.
Occasionally entertaining thing about the Dolph Lana.
Cedric Alexander in the Hurt Business.
Yeah, he was good when he was
Oh, yeah.
a wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
That
good.
was cool.
Yeah, that was good.
Here we go. John and Alistair voice. Is there a wrestler that has won you over with one match or promo? Whatever that first match is that Sheamus, because I was never a Sheamus guy.
Oh yeah. It's
And
probably
then
the
it
first Cesaro match. They had their series, or one of them.
Yeah, it was probably a Cesaro match, but I was thinking even later than that when it was like when it was during the pandemic with Drew McIntyre.
It wasn't the viscous piss segment with Jeff Hardy.
I think at that point he had already won me over, but that made him a main eventer in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, he took actual viscous
Yeah, he took a face full of viscous piss.
piss right in the face.
Good tall though.
I got to make that into a gift for the pay-per-view watch-alongs.
There we go.
That's all the questions I have here. I think leaving it on viscous piss is a good
I
idea.
can't think of a better way to end the show.
The last show before our 10-year
I know.
anniversary. We're going to leave it on viscous piss. That's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
And we'll
And
see y'all
it's-
Monday. What, about 10 o'clock? You want to do it? 10
Yeah,
o'clock?
10, well, probably you'll be over here at 10 o'clock. We'll go live at like 10:30. I'll
10:30.
set the thing.
10:30 Monday. We'll sit down. We'll stream.
Pacific
We'll reminisce. Think
Hang
about
out.
good moments of going in Raw. So we'll hope to see you all there.
I'm eat a donut. Maybe I'll turn on 2K so we'll actually have something to do. Sitting. You just want to sit here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just marinate.
I'm gonna get out the little interview mics.
Let's just marinate in sentimentality and nostalgia, Steve.
Oh Lord. All right, sounds good. Look at my dog down there. She's just having a fit right now. What are you doing down there? I don't have anything. I was just putting my fingers like I did so I could see your face.
I don't know if we said this during the show. Also, please, engagement, hit that like button, leave a comment.
Oh, we had an episode today earlier too.
Yeah, we
Worst
did.
wrestling rivalries.
Yeah, so go watch that too, please.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you around.